After almost 30 years as a wedding cake designer, I am going to share with you the tools that I absolutely cannot live without. Hi, I'm Jennifer Williamson, and I help wedding cake makers run successful, profitable, sustainable wedding cake businesses using smart strategies, using aligned marketing, using the mindset tools that it really takes to step into the role of a confident business owner. So thanks for being here. Okay, so today we're going to do something a little bit different. Welcome to my kitchen, you guys. We never come here. So today I wanted to share with you some of the things that I literally cannot live without. I don't know what I would do, and these are the bare basics. So the reason I wanted to show you these is because when I started my business, I just bought things as I went. So I wasted a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of space buying things that I just didn't need, but I didn't know any better. So over the years, I really made things really streamlined. So when I help my bakers set up their kitchens, I help them do it very efficiently so they don't have to waste the time and the money and the space that I did. So let's get into it. Okay, so first I want to go through some of my hardware tools. So the first one is my kitchen shears. You always want to have a really good pair of kitchen shears. These are just plastic handled, nice and sturdy, so you can wash them. And I use these for everything, for cutting cardboard circles, to cutting parchment, to cutting dowels, everything. So nice pair of kitchen shears. And then next, you want to have a good pair of pliers. Now, it sounds silly, right? Like big deal, right? But I use these for wire. I use these for pulling out dowels if I cut a dowel wrong. And it's one of those things, you don't need it every day, but when you need it, there's really not a good substitution, like not even scissors. So it's great to have a nice set of pliers. And then my little X-Acto knife, cha-ching, check this out. So this, gosh, this is so old, probably like 30 years old. This is great to have. I use this for cutting gum paste. I use it for sometimes cutting cake circles. If I have to cut a straight line, I'll use it for that. This is great to have. And again, it's one of those things that you don't need it every day, but when you need it, there's no other substitution. So you always want to have this. And this, you want to make sure you know where it is, because there's nothing worse than like having to look for it, right, when you're busy. Okay. And then next is parchment paper. Guys, if you're not using parchment paper in your commercial kitchen or your home baking kitchen and your regular kitchen, you are missing out. I use this for everything. And it's one of those things, when I'm out of it at my house, I will run back to my kitchen and get some. So this I use for everything. I cut patterns with it. I line pans with it. I use it as a placemat if I'm cutting a cake and I don't want to make a mess everywhere, and I can re-scrape it and stuff like that. So this is great to have, and you can buy these by the cake, like a big sheet. These are sheets, so you don't have to buy the rolls. But you can buy like a big case of them, so there's a whole bunch of sheets. And then you want to have a nice kitchen knife, nice utility kitchen knife. I use this for cutting my dowels. And then we will get into my dowels. This is like a big deal because I see everyone's using the center dowel. I don't do that. And I use these plastic dowels. They're about a ½ an inch wide. They're hollow. And the reason I like them, I make a lot of sponge cakes. So when I use these dowels, they don't tip over. And so what happens is the cake fills in here and then it makes it really sturdy. So these are great, and I just cut it with the white knife that I just showed you. These are amazing. I buy them by the case, again, off of Amazon. And then for the top tiers for my dowels, I use good old-fashioned drinking straws, you guys. I learned these from none other than Sylvia Weinstock. So I bought her book a million years ago, and her husband is a physicist. I think it's a physicist. He's like a physical studies he studies. Yeah, okay. So, and he was the one who told her, like, you don't need anything else because the pressure from it keeps everything supported. So good old-fashioned drinking straws, you guys. You can get these at the grocery store. So that's that. And then this is my favorite spatula of all time. I have a whole bunch of spatulas. This is made by Williams-Sonoma. And the reason that I like this, first of all, it has a wooden handle, so it's not slippery, it's not plastic. This is nice and flexible, but it's not too flexible, okay? And it's really sturdy. I've had this for, I don't know how many years, like 25 years or something. That's crazy. And the reason that I like this too, when you're thinking about getting a spatula, you want to, logic tells us to get like a really big one because we're dealing with big bowls and stuff. But what happens when it's bigger, you lose control. So this one I like because I have control of it, because it's like I know where everything is going here. So this one is great. Williams Sonoma, thank you, Williams Sonoma. I don't know if I ever lose this or anything ever happens to this, I don't know, I'm probably gonna close up shop. Okay, and then let's get into spatulas. I do not use a bench scraper. I see a lot of people using them, and I'm sure they have great success. I like a good old-fashioned flat spatula, okay? This is as cheap as can be. It has a wooden handle. The reason why I like the wooden handle one is because it doesn't get slippery when we're using a lot of buttercream, okay? So this I love. And these, you should probably get them off of Amazon. I also order from File and Holing in New York. They're great. And then I also use the smaller one. This I use all the time for smoothing the sides on my cakes. All right, and then this spatula, these are plastic handled. These are Ateco. Is that how you pronounce it? Ateco? Ateco? I don't know. I never knew how to pronounce it. I've seen the word for many years. If anybody knows, put it in the comments. So this spatula I love because it's a little bit thinner, and I'm talking a hair thinner than the other ones. And this is great for scraping off the top of cakes. This I absolutely love. I have these in all the big sizes, okay? So this nice plastic handle. And then my little baby offset, you guys, look how cute. I have about 6 of these. This, again, I like because it has a wooden handle when I'm using a lot of fillings. And this one, let's see, this one is Ateco as well. And this one I love because it's not too big, and it has a little bit of flexibility, but not too much. And this I use for like fillings and stuff like that, okay? And then this knife is crazy. Can you see that? Like the serrated. Ooh, that's so crazy. So this knife I love. I got this Vitamix makes this, and I think it comes like free when you buy a Vitamix. One of my friends that used to work with me here, he left it here, I guess, or gave it to me. I'm not really sure, but it's mine now. So this knife I absolutely love. It's super, super sharp, and I tort all my cakes, so I slice them horizontally. And this is great because it doesn't catch. So I do a lot of sponge cakes, like I said, so this is great. It doesn't tear the cakes. So this is amazing. And then, let's see, this is my absolute favorite gum paste tool of all time ever. So one end, I don't even know where I got it. One end has like little ridges on it, and then the other end is smooth. And I use this for absolutely everything, and making my flowers, making everything. So this is fantastic. You can make ruffles with this end. You can like poke the little inside of a flower, all kinds of stuff. So this is one of my favorites. And then icing bags. Now this, I do not have a name on this. I don't know who makes it. It was made in Japan. It's a polyurethane flex 16-inch. I like the bigger bags because you fill them up halfway, but they don't get all messy. So this is my favorite size bag. And the thing that I love about this bag is that it's not too thick, and it has a little bit of texture on the outside so it doesn't get slippery. And then the inside obviously is nice and smooth, and it's nice. It's just really, really light and flexible. So I would say when you're going to get an icing bag, go check out the stores and see how they feel before you buy them. And then once you know what you can buy, then you can order it after that. But try to get a nice thin one because, again, you'll get more you'll get more control with the bag when you're doing that, okay? And then while we're on that kind of stuff, so I've made gum paste. I have bought gum paste, different kinds. I always come back to Satin Ice gum paste. This stuff is amazing. I use it for all my flowers, all my ribbons, all my ruffles, all those things. This I've been using for years. And like I said, I used to make my own. This is way better than anything that I've made. You can order this off of Amazon. You can get it at File and Holing. Any kind of craft store now carries it, so which is great. And then I wanted to also, while we're on gum paste, cornstarch. Again, unsung hero, you guys. Cornstarch. I use it to roll out fondant. I use it for all of my flowers. I use it for wafer paper flowers. I use it for everything. And again, it's one of those things, you don't need it every day, but when you need it and you have to get it, you're in trouble because like now you have to, there have been times when I had to run to the store to go get cornstarch. How silly, right? Okay, so there's that. And then let's talk about cake circles. So obviously we need cake circles, right? This is a 6-inch. and we do all different kinds of cakes, right? But I like to have only a few sizes in stock because they're expensive and they take up a lot of space, and I don't have a lot of space in my kitchen. So I use, in my kitchen, I keep a size 16 inch, I keep a size 12, 10, and 6. And then everything else that I need, I just cut them. So that way you don't have to store a ton. I mean, you might waste a tiny, tiny little bit of cardboard, but if you're using the sizes that you mostly use, I would do it that way, and then you can cut the rest, okay? And then I'm going to, let's see, obviously we have to have a turntable, right? This again is a Teco and this is fantastic. This is a nice heavy one. You used to only be able to buy these at restaurant supply stores, but now you can get it on Amazon. You could probably buy a Panda Bear on Amazon right now, okay? And then this, I'm saving my favorite tip for last. So this is a clear lucite plastic board, okay? What the heck is this for, right? So what I do when I'm smoothing my cakes, I like them to, obviously, to be super, super smooth. And when I do them on here, if I do them on here, this isn't big enough. So I put this on here so that when I'm smoothing a cake, I put the cake right on here with the board under it, and I smooth it on here. And then you can make that as big as you want to make it, okay? So those are some of my favorite things. So I hope that this helped you, and I hope that you got some value out of this. And if you have a tip that you want to share, if you have something favorite in your kitchen that you can't live without, please put it in the comments. We love any kind of tips like that that are going to help us be more efficient. And if you do like this, if any of this resonates with you, please like and subscribe. I would love that. And if you are looking to level up your business and book more weddings and really take it seriously and bring it to the next level, the wait list for my Wedding Cake Business Academy is open. The course that I'm not taking members yet, we're going to be taking members in a few weeks in August 2025. But if you want to be on the wait list, you'll be first to be notified. So thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next time.